Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to properly clean and sanitize your saxophone before you turn it in at the end of the week of the 18th to the 22nd so that it can be sterilized and stored properly. You're going to first want to take your mouthpiece off, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Next is you take the neck off, and then this part of the instrument you're just going to want to do your normal sax wiping, where you put the cleaning swab into the bell of the saxophone, shake it around till it comes out through the other end, and that is going to get the moisture out. You don't want to do anything else with this, because if these pads get wet, you're going to be having to replace them, which is like over $200 on a saxophone. So you just wipe the moisture out when you play, wipe it out when you put it away here, and you're going to be good with this. Also, the brass on here is somewhat antibacterial, so a lot of the bacteria doesn't thrive on this brass. But the viruses, we're going to let this sit for 5 days when it comes back to the school, and that will kill those viruses, just letting it sit like that. Okay, as long as we have the case open and it can breathe. Now let's talk about the neck. Neck is a little different. You don't really want to get your cork wet, okay? It should have some cork grease on it, which will help if some water gets on it. It'll wick off because of the grease on the cork grease. But you don't want to submerge this in water. But what you probably want to do is take some warm, soapy water, not super soapy. You fill up your sink and you put a couple drops of soap in. Mix it up, let it bubble just a little bit. You might not even see many bubbles. But this is a true pipe cleaner for cleaning instruments. I have two sizes. Not sure, saxophone probably needs a small one. But you guys can use Q-tips, any bottle cleaners, or even just a rag. If you've got a little rag that you can submerge and get soapy and wet, you can use that and send it through. So you're going to soak this in water. You can go ahead and put this up to this pad. Don't get this pad wet, don't get your cork, but you can get some water, pour it through there, okay? And then you're going to take your brush and you're going to just clean out. So the big one works perfect in here. That gets any stuff that's not grown but collected on the inside. The bigger one works down here. I'm not even guessing, ooh, did you see all that powder that came off? This is so dry. I'm not guessing that you have these or both of these. You might have a bottle cleaner if you got young kids and you're cleaning out the milk bottles. But you're going to do that. Then you're going to let this sit and dry. It's done. Mouthpiece is a little different. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get rid of the reed. When you know you're done playing, throw your reed away. Don't bother keeping it. It just grows bacteria like you wouldn't believe. But you're going to want to get a cup, small cup, of water mixed with vinegar. 50% water, 50% vinegar. So half water, half white vinegar, or hydrogen peroxide if you've got that. The white vinegar, you guys probably have a big bottle of it in your house somewhere. You use it for cooking things. But this cup, I love it because it says, I'm easy to get along with as long as I get my way, which that's my personality all the way. But you're going to take this cup, and once you have it mixed with your thing, you're going to take your ligature, drop it in there, let it soak for 10 minutes. Now, your mouthpiece is all plastic. It can all go in there. You don't need to worry about it. You can submerge it. Nothing's going to happen to it. The clarinet mouthpieces have cork on it, so you can't get that cork wet. But you guys can just let this soak. And after you let it soak for 10 minutes, you're going to take it back out, and you're going to scrub it with your bottle cleaner or your rag or your Q-tips so that if anything's on the inside growing around in there, it gets cleaned out, okay? Then go ahead and let it soak a little bit longer, so anything fresh surface that has been created from you scrubbing that can get sanitized. Then once you're done with that, you're going to take both parts out, let them dry, okay? Pretty easy, just let them dry. Wipe them down with the cloth. I would just air dry, because if you wipe them down with the cloth and there's bacteria on that cloth, you're just putting it on the mouthpiece. So let it air dry, and then store this in your case, not together. This goes in one spot, this goes in another spot. Your reeds are in the trash, okay? Then you're going to put your instrument away properly, you're going to put your cleaning rag away properly, and you're good to go. And then you can turn that instrument back into me, and it'll sit for 5 days before I do anything with it. I will open the case and let it sit, and I will actually be cleaning the outside of the case as well. So that's how you clean a saxophone.